Welcome to a quick 10-minute overview of the award-winning MyTeamSafe Lone Worker Safety Solution in action. There are two key parts to MyTeamSafe. The web dashboard, seen here on the left. When logged in, you can manage the system as well as monitor lone workers if needed. The second element is the app that the lone worker uses. This works on both Android and Apple smartphones. You can also use older text-only phones if needed. Through this overview, there are a few terms that we use. Users are the lone workers. Supervisor are the lone worker's buddy, the person that is automatically contacted if they don't check in. A strategy, this is the rule of how often the lone worker has to check in and what happens if they don't. An escalation. Groups, this is a group or team of lone workers, often with the same supervisor and/or strategy. Now let's see MyTeamSafe in action. We are currently logged into the dashboard, and as you can see that all the users are split into the groups. Rob Little is currently inactive and not running a lone working session. The screen is set to refresh every minute. Let's open the app and see how that works. At the bottom of the app you can see your default company strategy. There's a start button to start a lone working session, which when pressed, I've now started my lone working session. You can see the time that I'm required to check in and how long it is until I have to check in. Looking at the web dashboard, you can now see that Rob Little has started a session, the strategy that I'm using, my battery power. There's also a timeline bar that shows how long until I have to check in again. I can at any time check in to reset the clock, and I can press stop at any time when my lone working has finished. Entering my unique PIN means that I can stop the session. When you're in this screen on the app, it means I'm no longer lone working, and the web dashboard updates to say that I'm not lone working. There is no location tracking going on now. Of course, sometimes your scenarios of lone working are different, so your company can give you a number of different strategies to choose. I've selected a special demo strategy that requires me to check in every 5 minutes. As you can see, the web dashboard updates showing me my battery level, the strategy that I'm using, and the timeline bar of when I need to check in. Of course, sometimes phone signals are patchy and you can lose your data connection, or there's no Wi-Fi. MyTeamSafe automatically fails to safe with text mode. Pressing one of the buttons will create a text. You simply add your PIN and send, and the system will be updated just as if you were using the app. When the data connection returns, the app will return to the normal screen. Even without any phone signal, the system will still alert the user and the supervisor if check-ins are not done on time. MyTeamSafe is always designed to keep lone workers protected. I'll now start going through some of the other features of the MyTeamSafe system. As you can see, there is a map on the screen as the locations are being recorded. On the dashboard, you can click on the audit button to see how that user has been using the system and their current location. There is also a very powerful notes function that has numerous uses. It's very important for a lone worker to keep people informed, but it's not necessarily a panic situation. During a lone working session, users can update or add new notes. These are logged in the system and can be viewed in dashboards or reports. Notes can be made to record a change of plan, something needs repairing or replacing, or just general notes to keep people informed. As you can see on the dashboard, the user's note has now appeared. The note starts to fade the older it is. Notes can have different levels of importance. A normal note is just logged in the system. A warning note is logged and immediately emailed to the supervisor, but an urgent note also immediately texts the supervisor as well. All notes are recorded and can be reported from the system. As you can see, this is an extremely powerful feature for supervisors to be kept informed. As the update comes through, you can see it on the dashboard. You can also see it in the audit logs, as messages may have evolved over time. And as mentioned, it's also stored in the logs for reporting. I will now close this audit screen and show you how you can find all the detailed history. On the right of the user's information line there is a drop-down box. Select the history option and it opens a new tab. This screen shows all the recorded details of the selected date range. It covers locations, maps, start and stop, escalation and notes. You can zoom into the map and see the last start and end locations. The size of the circle is the recorded accuracy of that pin. At the top of the screen there are numerous options to select which data you wish to see. It's not time to check in yet, so I'll quickly show you another useful feature that's in addition to the lone working functionality. We also have an on-site, off-site and absent function. By clicking the on-site button, the dashboard will update with the green disk, or you can set it to off-site and the system will update again. This is a really useful feature if people are moving between buildings and they can choose to be on site if they're making a visit or off site if they're travelling. It's almost time to check in and the screens go from amber to red when you meet the escalation point. The phone will make a sound if there's sound set, the screen will go slightly red and the dashboard will also update, showing that the user is late checking in. The bar goes red. You can also see in the drop down in the audit or the history exactly when alerts and notifications were sent to the user or supervisor. At this point in time the supervisor may still not be informed because of the grace periods that you've allowed for, but on the dashboard you can open the map and you can see a location of the person that's escalated who is in red, but also any nearby users that will be in the green pins. This means that you can quickly spot if somebody is able to go round to see the person that's checked in late if it's deemed necessary. It's now time to click the check-in button and enter my PIN to say that I'm safe to reset the system. No more alerts or notifications will go out and the clock resets. As it is a set and forget system, as I've checked in within my grace period, no alerts have been sent to my supervisor, but it's still all recorded in the audit history logs, just so we know what's been happening. You can see in the log when the late alarm was sent to the user and when they checked in as safe. You've now seen how the app and dashboard interact during lone working. I'll also show you some admin functions. There are groups and users, where you can group people into different teams, see their login information and who their default supervisor is. Clicking the edit icon allows you to amend any of their functions, their email addresses, their default strategies and supervisors. User and group settings are all controlled in this section. The final element of the system are strategies. These are the agreed rules of how often users have to check in and what happens and when if they do not. You can make them as simple or as complicated as you like using different combinations of alerts, push notifications, emails and texts. These can be sent to the user or the supervisor or any combination. Here is a simple example of a step-by-step escalation and at what time each alert happens. Each of these points will be an alert also in the app for the user. After the previous escalation points, you can see here if you're late by 20 minutes that the user receives an email and a push notification. At 25 minutes late they also receive a text. At 30 minutes late is the first time that the supervisor is informed by email with the relevant information of who is late and what time and their last location. They are also immediately sent a text with the same information. Here is an example of the email that you might receive as a supervisor telling you the relevant information. The links are clickable and would open a map so you can see their last recorded location. You can make the escalation points as simple or as complex as required to meet your organisation's needs. You can also have a number of different strategies to meet different loan working scenarios. You've now seen how all the different elements of MyTeamSafe interact to make it a highly flexible and comprehensive system. I'm now going to check in to end my loan working session to say that everything is safe. The app goes back to standby mode, resets your default strategy, and there is no more tracking going on. The dashboard will update showing that I'm inactive, and the logs will record that I have checked in and stopped the system. The final element is so you can see a summary of all of the activity that goes on within the system. This report is a high-level report so you can see who and how the system is used. I hope this overview has shown you how MyTeamSafe's simple to use but comprehensive loan worker system can reassure your staff and protect your business every day, ensuring you cover your legal duty of care for loan workers, even those that occasionally work on their own. Thank you for watching our MyTeamSafe video. Please do contact the team for more information and set up a free trial so you can test this yourself.